Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So apparently y'all like this what if? So it's not letting me tag my disc cuz I want to get y'all suggestions on what ifs, but I don't want them to be on YouTube. I want it to be in my Discord server. And like once I get to 100 subscribers, if I ever get there, I'm hoping I do eventually. That's just going to be exclusively for those people. Why the fuck did that just crash? Okay, guess it crashes now. Um, but since it's not letting me tag it, plus I gotta shout out the person that gave me the idea. Let me just get this over with and done. So this is him. This is my Discord server. Let me go to my name. Let me go to me specifically. At me, so I can send y'all a invite to the server. That way y'all don't. That way y'all could DM me if y'all if y'all want me to do what ifs that y'all didn't see anybody else do, or y'all didn't like the way somebody else did it, stuff like that. But yeah, that's about it. And hold on, I got one more thing. I'm gonna give him one more form because dude sent me a whole bunch of them. I'm gonna give him the one like where he's like fully almost cloaked in darkness. I kind of fuck with that one. Like this one right here. So I'm gonna give him that one too. But yeah, that's it. That's all. Let me actually get into what if now. This is what if Zeldris. I hope I'm saying that right. I really don't like butchering people's names or characters' names. But let's pick this off right back where I left off. So Naruto or Zeldris was like, okay, like, why not? And they get into their little fighting stance and stuff like that. Well, Neji does. And Naruto doesn't like he uses the sword like he uses the scalpel thing for the sword instead of the sword itself. Cause yeah. And come on, y'all, everybody who watched Seven Deadly Sins know that this man Zeldris is a god with a sword in his hand. That man chopped off Meliodas' arm. Yeah, man's is cold. I don't care what nobody say. Um, I'm gonna say Neji kind of like ran up to him, but Naruto's basically telling him what's wrong with like his stance and stuff like that. And Neji's getting a little frustrated because like he's never been beat like Hinata's been beating on him, but he's never been beat on because Naruto, aka Zeldris, has no remorse for people that he's training with or quote unquote teaching. So yeah, Naruto basically is like everybody's seeing this, like everybody in their little class, they're like, wait, why is Naruto doing that and stuff like that. So I'm gonna say Neji kind of gives up after a little bit, but don't get me wrong, Neji still hits Naruto. Like he hits him in the stomach a couple of times in the arm, and he does get his chakra point shut down. But I'm gonna say since he has that little thing on his forehead, and I'm gonna say that and Kurama's chakra kind of play a role in unblocking it. So it's like the max amount of time his chakra points are blocked is like 2 minutes, give or take. So yeah, like I'm gonna say everybody see that, and then like Naruto is actually pretty skilled to be fighting, Hyuga like the way he just did, and I'm gonna say Neji kind of get a little bit of respect for Naruto because he was kind of viewing Naruto as like what everybody else was viewing him at the time. But you know, yeah. So the teams they meet up with Kakashi. Well, Kakashi meets them on the roof or whatever. Kakashi tells them to meet up the next day. I think I discussed that in the earlier part, but yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna say this is on their way to meet Kakashi instead of like at the school. Like, yeah. But everybody still sees it. So Naruto basically was like, well, I guess you gotta go get this little girl. And Sasuke sighs and he's like, bro, do we have to? And he's like, she is on our team. We kinda have no choice. And Sasuke said like, bro, like, do we really need her? And Naruto slash Zeldris was like, bro, she has chakra control. If we can teach her like just a little bit of like stuff, she would be cold. But she too stubborn to realize that. Like she's too stubborn to realize that she has two superior ninja on her team, and she's just stupid enough not to realize that we can teach her some shit, and she will become a god tier Konoichi. But yeah. And Sasuke was like, but we both know the only reason why she likes this team is because I'm on it. And Naruto was like, yeah, exactly. I can bend that to my will. And Sasuke was like, bro, what do you have planned? And he was like, don't worry about it. Just know I got something for her. And they go get Sakura. And Sakura doesn't, like, in this one, I'm going to say Sakura does not fuck with Naruto at all. Like, not in the slightest. She don't talk to him. And when she does talk to him, she's always berating him about some stupid thing that he did that didn't really mean anything, but she made it a big deal. So, she's walking with Sasuke, and Naruto was like, yo, Sasuke, we finna go train. And I'm gonna say, cause Sakura like follows Sasuke around, I'm gonna say what's her name's too. Like she goes with them too, to the training ground. And Naruto at this point knows that if he gets Sasuke to get her to train, eventually she's gonna have to say something to Naruto, or she's just gonna get hit with the scapulatin a little too many times of like the little sword. And Naruto and Sasuke start training. Sasuke and Naruto have been training long enough to where Naruto is able to use the full, like the blade itself, and Sasuke is using kunai. And the way that they train is like if they cut, basically like if they cut each other like once or twice, the other one wins. Like if Naruto cut Sasuke 3 times, I'm gonna say to get 3 lives. If Naruto cut Sasuke 3 different times, Naruto wins. If Sasuke cuts Naruto 3 different times, Sasuke wins. But since Naruto's a god swordsman, Sasuke only won 1 time, and that was because Naruto was underestimating him. Now Naruto don't underestimate that man. So Sakura heals Sasuke, after like the 6th time they fought. So that man got like a good 24, probably like 48 cuts on this man. Like, dude's destroyed. And, Sakura's berating Naruto. And Sasuke turns around and was like, Sakura, if you berate him so much, if you think you're better than him, why don't you fight him? And she was like, alright, bet. So she get up there and she grabs a little kunai. And Naruto sheaves the sword and put like something over it so that way the sheath don't slip off, and he actually ends up cutting her. He sheaves the sword and put like something on it, and he basically was like, on your go, and she runs toward him, and Naruto just disappears and just smacks her in the back of the head with it, like you're leaving yourself open. And she turns around, and at this point in time Kakashi is watching this happen. And Kakashi's surprised at Naruto's speed. And Kakashi was like, wait a minute, hold on. No, sir. I might actually have to use the Sharingan. But I'm going to say Kakashi, like, he's not on Kakashi's level. I'm not saying that. He's not on Kakashi's level. He's near Kakashi's level, but not on Kakashi's level. So, like he's like, by the time they're done fighting and Kakashi appears, Sakura has like the 16 different bruises on her. And I'm gonna say Naruto laughs and Sasuke looks at her and was like, you gotta get better than that. Like, you can't be holding down the team just because, you wanna, just because you want to be that type of, like, just because you want to be stubborn and not work with the whole team. And Kakashi basically tells him about the bell test. And Naruto was like, oh, let's see what this is. But he don't tell nobody because he want to see if they can get it. Now, I'm going to say Sasuke kind of knew what it was, but he wanted to see if Naruto was gonna get it, and Sakura was just gonna do anything that Sasuke told her to do. Now, given people know that Naruto is the fourth Hokage's son, but he's also the Nine-Tailed Shinjudogi. So I'm gonna say there's a little less hate, but the people that hate him just specifically hate the Nine-Tails and the fact that he looks weird. Like, the fuck you got a tattoo on your face for? Like, that's the type of shit that they thinking. But Naruto at this point don't really care. But yeah, he gets hate. Like, he gets a lot more hate, but not for the reasons that you think. There are reasons why he gets so much hate, but I'm not bringing those up now because those are going to play roles later on. So, Naruto basically was like, okay, like, I see how it is. And Kakashi says begin, and Naruto and Sasuke, and Sakura dips. Sakura just runs into the leaves, and then she realizes, like, wait, Sasuke and Naruto aren't running. And Naruto asks Kakashi, like, can I use my sword? And, like, Kakashi, he's still looking at the book. Kakashi's like, yeah, sure, why not? And Naruto's like, alright, bet. I can use any jutsus I want to. And Kakashi, once again, like, I don't care. And Sasuke looked at him, and he was like, this is not, And Naruto goes into his first stage of, like, that little weird mark. And it's like it starts spreading a little bit. And that catches Kakashi off guard. And then he looks at Naruto's sword. And I'm going to say Naruto puts his wind release on the sword. And he slashes. But he slashes fast enough to where, like, it like, all you see is, like, just, like, a little blur. And, like, just a huge, like, slice of wind. Like, very sharp wind is headed towards Kakashi. And Kakashi jumps out the way. And he's like, wait a minute. Hold on. I don't know what the fuck you thought this was. But I guess I'll beat your ass real quick. That's basically what Kakashi said. And Naruto's like, oh yeah, I've been waiting. You know, especially because, you know, like, you my dad's, especially because, like, you my dad's listening. And my dad's student. So they start fighting. And Kakashi was like, this for him to be at like the age of 12, he's pretty fucking strong. Like, with a sword, this man is pretty strong. He's probably stronger than a base level Genin. Or, no, not Genin, Jonin. What the fuck they call him. So, yeah, so in the middle of their fight, I'm going to say Sasuke shoots a fireball. And Sakura, you know, finally getting the gist, she throws some kunai in there. And Naruto basically turns around and grins at Sakura, and Sakura kind of scowls back at him like, the fuck wrong with you? And Naruto looks like, he gets like, him and Sasuke jump back, and he looks at Sakura. Sasuke looks at Sakura and told her to come out here, and she does. And they start formulating a plan, kind of. Well, Sasuke and Naruto do. And basically Sakura's the bait. So they tell Sakura, like, you rushing, and, like, well, all three of us are rushing at the same time. And Naruto makes, I'm going to say, some clones, some shadow clones, because he still has, like, yeah. So Naruto makes some shadow clones, and they rush, like, they all, I'm going to say, it looks like all of them are rushing them, but it's literally just Sakura and two of Naruto shadow clones. And Sakura notices this, but she doesn't care, because, well, she kind of does, but she didn't notice in, like, the last minute. And I'm going to say Kakashi, like, hit her, like, kicked her away or whatever. And in the middle of him kicking, I'm going to say Sasuke came up through the floor, and Naruto was coming down, and Sasuke knew that this was going to hurt him probably too, and so did Naruto. But Sasuke uses a fire, like, Kakashi jumped up. Sasuke used the fireball jutsu, and Naruto used like this, like the wind slash. They call it flame vortex. Yeah, I fucks with that name. They call it flame vortex. And when both those jutsus collide, it creates like this little weird big ball of flame that swirls, which is why they call it flame vortex. And I'm gonna say Kakashi subbed out of it, and he was like, "Bro, if I wasn't like the god that I am, that probably would have killed me." And just to let y'all know, Orochimaru is also interested in Naruto, just because of the fact that he was born with that thing, like with that little mark on his head, and amplifies his power. So Orochimaru is wondering like if that's a seal that the fourth put on him, or is that just something else? And Naruto does know about Jiraiya, by the way. And Naruto, like Kakashi basically tells him like, y'all pass. But like he kind of berates Sakura, cause like, how you gonna be on a team with somebody, but you can't work with them? And she, like she realizes like she realizes that Kakashi's talking about her, and she gets like in her feelings, and she's like, well, if he was not the, and Naruto looks at her and was like, if I was not what? Hmm? What was it? If I was not what? And she looks at Naruto and was like, well, maybe if you weren't the Nine Tails. And Sasuke was like, yep, I knew it. She's a bandwagon. And I'm gonna say she was like, wait, what do you mean a bandwagon? And Naruto was like, oh, it's simple. You hopped on that bandwagon to make yourself seem okay to everyone else's eyes just because of that specific thing. When last time I checked, your parents didn't die during the Nine Tails attack, right? Yeah. Your house wasn't destroyed during the Nine Tails attack, right? Yeah. Just had to make sure. So for you to throw so much hate at me just because I'm the Nine Tails and you had no control over that, and neither did I, kind of blows me. And like Kakashi's just looking at Naruto like, bro, this I want to jump in this, but like, bro, he's not wrong. Like, I'm gonna say, yeah. Sakura looks at Kakashi, and Kakashi was like, he's not wrong. You did just kind of jump on a bandwagon when you heard about it. Like, you really think that Naruto is capable of killing his own parents? And he watched his mother die in the hospital right before the school started. And she was like, yeah, like she takes all that on her chin, and she kind of like, she doesn't apologize to Naruto, like she scoffs at him, but Naruto just starts laughing. And I'm gonna say Sasuke looks at her and was like, bro, you something else. Like, what you gonna make fun of him for next? Him being an orphan? Oh wait, that's right. You can't do that because you already did in front of me, and I'm an orphan. Like, and she was like, she's baffled because like she didn't got Sasuke, and like she just got berated by her whole team. Like they just did her dirty. So I'm gonna say Kakashi's like, well, that ends the training for today. Y'all can stay here if y'all want to. I'm finna go read this book. And he like just vanishes. Supposed he's using instant transmission. Anyway, anyway, so Naruto and Sasuke start walking off, and Sakura's just stuck. Like, she don't know what to do. She don't know if she actually did hop on a bandwagon, even though she's thinking about like, did I, or like, was I supposed to, like, she's just thinking of like shit like that. So I'm gonna say they get sent on a mission. Like the next day, they get sent on a mission. Now this is not a canon mission. This is my own mission. This is how I'm gonna set it up. I'm gonna say Naruto is sent to Team 7 is sent to escort this weapon to this person in the Sand Village. What was that? I do not know. I hope that was not anything important. Um, Naruto based like there was like Naruto was like, well, this is an A rank mission, and Kakashi was like, well, I think y'all two can handle it, and he looks at Sakura and was like, you really need to work on like your shit, like you need to get your shit together because this is not where it's at. You're not playing to your full extent. Like you have perfect chakra control, and you don't do anything with it. You don't like try to learn any healing jutsus or anything, or like amplify on what you already know and have. And come on, Sakura, work with us here. And and Sasuke was like, yeah, I don't think I can never like a girl that's useless. And that hit Sakura hard. Like her whole little fantasy world, how she hates Naruto and all this other shit, just crumbled immediately. After Sasuke said that, it was over with. Her whole reality was gone. She was dumbfounded. And Naruto's like, oh, so that's when Naruto just laughs, and Sasuke was like, wait a minute. Like, did you just plan? Like, was you planning this? And he was like, I may not ask Lord Third for this mission, and I may or may not have kind of pulled some strings, and yeah, and Naruto was like, well, um, Sakura, how would you feel if I trained you? And she's still dumbfounded, so she basically just agrees, like, if I can get stronger, why not? And I'm gonna say the only reason why the Hidden Leaf Village was assisting the Sand Village because this is their version of a peace treaty, right? So Gara, the dude with the puppets, and Tamari gets there like at the rendezvous point that they were at with their Jonin instructor. But their Jonin instructor had quote unquote something to do, so he leaves. And Gaara's interested in like why you got that mark on your head, Naruto, and ooh, like are you a Jinchuriki? And Naruto answers him and was like, well, I am, but this mark on my head has nothing to do with that. That signifies that I'm a demon. And he was like, wait a minute, what? And Naruto pulls Gaara off to the side and was like, well, I'm pretty sure you've been called a demon before or whatever, but you know, I'm actually the yeah, like I'm a demon fam. Like, yeah. And Gara doesn't believe him, and let's be honest, the only way that this dude would unless like if Naruto turned into like this fully yeah. Anyway, so Naruto in the Hidden Leaf Village, since Naruto was like little, like this is why like in the Hidden Leaf Village, Naruto is known as like the Black Sword because he mostly uses that dark release on his sword to make it like lighter and move faster and make no noise when it swings. So it's like, yeah. And Tamari notices like, yo, that's the Black Sword and the copy ninja of the Leaf, and they're escorting like this weapon back to whatever, like back to our village so I can have it. When I'm right here, I can just take it. And Naruto basically was like, you could just take it, but then again, you would be ruining the peace treaty, and some bandits could just come up to you and take it, like just with no hesitation. So you could just let us carry it back for you. And they basically just give it to Sakura. And Sasuke gets what Naruto was trying to do. So Sasuke is basically just constantly berating Sakura. Like he hands the tool to Sakura and was like, here, that'll be the only thing that you are actually useful for on this team. So there you go. And every time Sasuke says something like that, she gets more and more like ready to train with Naruto. And Sasuke was like, bro, Naruto is something the fuck else. Like, why, bro? But they're still edge lords. Like, yeah. I'm gonna say Naruto kind of blew past his little edge lordness. He still got that mentality of I will fuck you up if you touch my sword and all that other stuff, or talk about the leaf because no, his father was the Hokage, stuff like that. But like he's past like his little edge lord phase. So they're headed back to the Sand Village and they run into like this town and it's like at midway to the Sand Village, so everybody knows about how Gara acts and stuff, and no one like really fucks with Gara. Like they all just leave like the village. Like they don't leave the village, but they basically just stay indoors and try to ignore Gara at all costs. And Naruto basically asks Tamari like, "What's all that about?" And Tamari tells Naruto like, "Oh, that's because Gaara's our Jinchuriki." And he's like, "I know that. Like, why do people ignore him?" And he was like, "Oh, that's because from what Gaara's told us, the tail beast talks to him, and he kind of wows out every once in a while." And Naruto's like, "Interesting, interesting, interesting." And he was like, "Yo, Gaara." And Gaara turns around and he's like, "Want to have a quick little sparring session?" And Gaara was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" An interesting fact: the dark chakra like that I gave Naruto can cut through any form or state of chakra or matter. So Gaara is going to get pissed and turn into Shikaku. So they're training. Like Gaara's like little defenses holding up. Naruto like unsheathes the sword and he was like, "Oh, this is my mother's sword, Gaara. Like this is my mom's sword." And yeah, like this is my mom's sword and I'm the fourth Hokage's son and shit like that. Yo, now that I think about it, y'all know how similar Gaara and Naruto actually is? Like think about it. When both of them were born, their mother died. Their mother, like their fathers was both the Hokages of both the villages. And both of them eventually died. And both villages damn near hated their Jinchurikis. The only difference is that the Sand Village actually used Gaara as a weapon instead of just constantly hating on him and treating Gaara like a weapon, and vice versa with Naruto. They just hated Naruto to his very well being for some mysterious reason. Anyway, so back to the story. So like Naruto's telling Gaara about the sword, and this is what made Naruto mad because like Gaara gets a little frustrated that he wasn't going all out, and Gaara's like, "Who cares about the sword?" And Naruto's like, "Oh, word." And I'm gonna say Sasuke heard that, and Sasuke was like, "This is not something that you fucking want to do. This is not it. This ain't it." And Gaara was like, "Yeah, man, like just fight already, so I can get this over with." And Naruto's like, "Okay, bet." And he goes into like the little mark stage, and everyone notices like the little thing on his head just got a little bit bigger. And he rushes in, and like immediately, like Gaara like little defense thing goes up, and Naruto just cuts through the sand and cuts him, and he's like, "That's one cut, two more, and you lose." And Gaara's getting angry, and Naruto sees this, and he starts to laugh, and he's only doing this to see what Shukaku like to see if he can like make Shukaku humble in the other sorts. So Naruto continues with the beration and he cuts him again, and this is when Shukaku like starts to take over. And everyone in that village is like, "Well, we may need help." And I'm gonna say Naruto turns around and tells Kakashi like use Sakura's chakra. Like Sakura give what is it? Oh, my battery's low. I'm gonna say that Sakura I'm gonna say that Naruto told Sakura to give Kakashi her chakra so Kakashi can make like a mud wall between them and the village, or like the little small town outside in the like sand dune area or whatever. I'm finna have to unplug my headphones, so it might get quiet or not. I don't know, but just bear with me for a minute. Yeah. So anyway, Naruto at this point realizes like eventually Shikaku's gonna take over, and Naruto basically asks Rama like, "Yo, feel like you could like help me out here?" And Naruto and no, Kurama was like a little like Kurama started laughing. He was like, "Bro, if you can't defeat him, what make you think you're gonna be able to defeat the masked man?" And that pisses Naruto off to the complete, like full extent. And Naruto uses like Naruto bends the seal and makes it tighter. And Kurama was like, "God damn it, man! Like fuck! Like I thought we was homies." And Naruto was like, "Bro, don't talk about that masked man, dude. You know I don't fuck with that shit." Like he basically started telling Naruto basically started telling Kurama that, and Kurama was like, "Bro, like relax. It was just a joke." And Naruto was like, I don't take that joke lightly. Like the fuck." And Shikaku fully comes out, and Naruto was like, "Okay, I see what we doing here." And Naruto uses like the wind slash, but he uses the sheath too, so now it's like in the form of an X. And he uses the wind slash, and he hits dude, and he sees that Gaara's still out, like outside of it. So what he does is he tries to talk to Gaara, but Gaara's completely out of it. So here's what he does: he runs up, like he gets up close enough to Gaara to like headbutt him, like he did in Canon. But he doesn't headbutt him. He just hits him with the sheath of the sword. Just bitch, bonk. And he basically tells, like, Gaara snaps out of it, and Naruto basically tells Gaara, like, "Bro, I understand what you're going through, but like, you can't be letting this dude just, talk to you any type of way. You gotta put your foot down. Man's living inside your body. This is your body, bro. Like, put your foot down. Tell that man you gotta start paying rent money." And Gaara was like, "What do you mean?" And he was like, "You make him lend you his chakra. Like you need to make him lend you his chakra." Did I say that right? Basically, he needs to give you some of his chakra when you need it. And Gaara was like, "Well, I don't know how to do that." And he's like, "Don't worry about that. I got that." And Naruto basically tells Kurama, like, "Give me some of your chakra real quick." And Kurama does that. And I'm gonna say Naruto activates the one-tailed cloak, and everyone can feel it, including Shikaku. And Shikaku was like, "Wait a minute, hold on. That definitely looks like that chakra definitely reminds me of the Nine Tails. Ain't that like the strongest one at all?" Yeah, I'm good." And Naruto basically was like, "Shikaku, you keep fucking with my boy Gaara here, and I'm gonna rip you out of him and beat your ass myself. And then I'm gonna put you back in him right before he dies, and I'm gonna seal you away to the point where you ain't gonna never get out." And obviously, Naruto basically just like talking out the side of his neck because he don't know about any seals. But Shikaku takes it seriously because it's the Nine Tails. Let's be honest here. Fuck, man. So I'm gonna say like the village is like happy, and Gaara kind of like realizes like, bro, I could have done so fucking much. Like now Gaara's like he's chill now, like he's chilling. And some Anbu Black Ops obviously sees this, and they're like, "Okay, bet." So they go back and they relay it to Danzo. Danzo relays to Orochimaru. And Orochimaru gets more interested in the boy genius called Naruto Uzumaki. And no, I'm gonna do it anyway. So instead of Uzumaki, I'm gonna say Naruto took the name Namikaze just to make his anybody that was enemies with the fourth, Lord Fourth, would be mad at Naruto constantly just because his name is Namikaze. I had to make that man, just a little bit colder, a little bit colder. Y'all peep the drip, man's icy. Anyway, so um, like they lead a little town, and like people's they still don't trust God. Obviously, like this man went from wilding out to wilding out a little bit less, basically, or from their perspective at least. So yeah, they don't trust God as much. But my fault for I was not paying attention. I did not know that flipped. My fault. But Gara Gara was like, yo, Naruto, like, I appreciate you. Like shit like he's basically was like, yo, like I messed with it. Like, bro, you just saved me, like I was saying, like 10 or whatever years of going insane. Like 10 years of going insane. And he was like, bro, you weren't gonna go insane even if you wanted to. Like, let's be honest here. Like, and girl was, well, Tamari chimes in and she's like, well, couldn't put it past him if he did go insane because let's be honest here, like it's Gaara. And Naruto looks back and he was like, wait, are we giving this sword to you? Like, what? I mean, isn't we giving this thing to you? And she was like, yeah, that's what I've been trying to say this entire fucking time, but no one wants to listen to me. And Naruto was like, well, we're at the village. Like, we're at y'all village already, so here you go. And Kakashi was like, well, we are supposed to be staying here for a little bit, so for like 2 days, to catch our breath. And Naruto was like, you're tired? And Sakura was like, yo, you're not, I am. And Naruto looks at Sasuke, and Sasuke's like, Sakura, bro, you really are useless. And every time Sasuke does that, her little sanity and stuff breaks slowly but surely. Naruto basically wants Sakura to break mentally, and then so he can put the pieces back together on some weird Tokyo Ghoul type shit. If I'm reading that correctly. Yeah, I'm gonna say on some weird Tokyo Ghoul shit, how dude was being tortured, and then Kanegi was being tortured, and then he snaps, and then he kind of put himself back together. That's what he's gonna do to Sakura, but without the whole worm thing and her becoming a ghoul and everything. And if you're asking, is Naruto gonna make the 10 Commandments? Kind of. Give it a minute. So Naruto was like, yo, I can teach you how to use that Tamari if you want me to. And Naruto was like, well, no. Tamari was like, well, I already know how to use it, but don't you have wind release? And Naruto was like, yeah. Then she was like, well, you could teach me how to do that weird little wind thing that you did earlier. And he was like, don't you already know how to do that? Don't you call it wind scythe jutsu? I just call it wind slash. And Tamari was like, well, I still want to know it just in case I don't have this, and I can do it with the kunai. And Naruto was like, well, I guess. I guess that's something you could do. And Tamari and Naruto, they go off and they train. Now, what happens in between those two in these 3 days is going to be private. Just because I want to focus on Sakura right now. So Sakura basically asks Sasuke, yo, do you want to train? And Sasuke turns around. Because remember, Sasuke's still emo boy. So he's not finna hold back. Even if he knows he's playing directly into Naruto's little palms, he don't care. So he looks back at Naruto. He looks back at Sakura and was like, why would I practice with someone that can't even hold a candle to Naruto? Or can't even hold a candle to me? And this just breaks her even more. And he was like, seriously, go somewhere. Do something. train by yourself. Please. Go do something else. Like, I don't mess with you. And I'm gonna say this is when she breaks. But she's breaking, like, she doesn't, like, no one really notices that she broke. She's just standing there in shock. And Sasuke kind of grins and walks away. And he was like, well, Naruto, I guess it's your turn. And Kakashi basically looks and he was like, bro, what did you just do to her? And Sasuke looks up at Kakashi and is like, I just did what Naruto wanted. Apparently I was just one of his pawns in like this little game that he was playing with Sakura. And the day that they went, like they all went to go train, is over. And Temari and Naruto are relatively close. I'm not gonna cap. They're relatively close. Not too close, but they're close. They're getting there. They're getting there. So Naruto gets back there and he sees that Sakura has not moved from the same spot since he's left. So he's like, oh shit, they did it. He did it finally. And Naruto basically like takes Sakura to his room on some no sexual type shit. He takes Sakura to his room and he basically starts talking to Sakura, like asking her basic questions, asking her why he hated him and stuff like this, and how he can give her power and basic shit. He gonna do the same thing to Temari too, but he gonna get somebody else to break her. Like basically, Naruto's not evil, but he's not aligned with good either, because he wants all his allies to be broken in a sense, so he can put them back together. That way they'll be perfectly loyal to him and him alone. Like if Naruto basically gave them the order to kill their entire family, they would carry it out without a shadow of a doubt. Type shit. That was bars, but we're not gonna talk about it. I think. I don't know. But yeah. But just to be clear, Naruto is aligned with good, but his tactic to get allies is not aligned with good. So Naruto is talking to her, and Temari comes in. Like, Temari, this is the next day. Naruto's been up talking to her the entire time. And at this time, like, from the time that he was talking to her, a seal, like the same seal, I'm going to say, not the same seal, but a seal similar to Naruto, like the thing similar to Naruto's head is appearing on hers. And I'm going to say when Zeldris came to Naruto's world, a lot of, like, demon energy came into the world, and like only higher ups can sense it. Like people like Jiraiya, Tsunade, the Hokages and stuff like that can sense it, but anyone else can't really sense it. Like they can feel it going around, and I'm gonna say they tried to do something about it, but they couldn't. Only Naruto can do something about it, and what he's doing with it is he's breaking those people and asking them these questions and stuff like that. And he's focusing the energy into them. Basically. So yeah. 10 Commandments, if you like. This is how this is going to work out. The 10 Commandments. So Temari walks in the room and he sees like Sakura. And she seen Sakura in there, and she closes the door, and Naruto's like, bro, there's nothing going on. You could come in. And Naruto basically tells Sakura, you should go to sleep now. And she was like, okay. And she lays down, goes to sleep. Naruto yawns, leaves the room, and Temari asks him, what was that? And he was like, nothing important. It's going to happen to you eventually, too. And she was like, what do you mean? And Naruto was like, nothing at all. And she doesn't think that much of it. And she goes and she did train again. Now they're getting little more friendlier. Like now they're on best friend terms, basically. The third day it's gonna be something built different, but yeah. Kakashi and Sasuke, they come back and they're like, wait, where's Sakura? And they go in a room and Sasuke opens up Naruto's door and he sees Sakura laying there, just knocked out. And he's like, oh. Okay, I guess. And Naruto comes back into the house and like comes back into like the little apartment that they're like currently in the sand village. And he goes in his room and he tells Sakura to wake up. And if y'all are paying attention, like I'm not gonna make Sakura just a walking robot. She is going to eventually, after Naruto's done, like this, like the little like tattoo tag thing or whatever. I'm gonna call them tags. After the tag is like fully on her like head, she's going to go back to the way she used to be, but she's going to be loyal to Naruto. So she's gonna go back to like talking and being friendly, but like she's not gonna diss Naruto. She's not gonna hate on Naruto, anything like that. Like she's not gonna be doing none of that. She's gonna be one of Naruto's most loyal companions, and she's gonna be pretty overpowered. But we're not gonna talk about that right now. So, yeah, Naruto goes in there and he's still talking to her. I'm gonna say this, like what he's doing takes a long ass time, which is why he's doing it during the night. Because originally it would take a solid 3 days. Like if you go to sleep at night, it's gonna take a solid 3 days. But since he comes in at like 6, and he like leaves the house at like 10 a.m. to go train with Tamari, it's still gonna take 3 days. But since it's happening overnight, it's relatively like, yeah. So the third, like they come back, yeah, like everybody's training and stuff. The third day, Sakura's back to the way she used to be, but Kakashi blatantly fucking notices the fucking tag on her head, and he looks at Naruto, and Naruto was like, Kakashi, we should talk. And he basically tells Kakashi, like, I just made her, better, more useful, you can say. And he's like, how? And he like, Naruto basically, asked Sakura to come here. And he was like, use that jutsu. And what he does, like, he calls it a jutsu just to, like, make it like, basically just to simplify it for Kakashi. And she basically turns her hand. I don't know what the fuck her name was, but it's one of the 10 commandments where, like, her hands are kind of like deemed, like they're fully black and they get really big and shit like that. I don't know. I'm gonna just call them like demon claws. And she basically just makes her hand that big and whatever and shit like that. Yeah. And Sakura basically in that state can amplify her strength and her speed. There's another state she can use. I'm gonna say she has to get the fully maxed out version yet. The version that she gets is just like her feet and her hands. Like, they still turn black, but they're not up there with, like, in speed and strength. Like, she's not God tier level speed and strength yet. And she's not going to unlock that for a long ass time, so y'all shouldn't have to worry about, me making her too overpowered. So Tamari notices this, and she's wondering, like, yo, like, she asked Sakura, like, yo, fam, you good? And she notices the tag on her head, and she said, like, what's that for? Like, what do y'all even call those? And Naruto referred to them as tags. And he asks Tamari, do you want a tag? And to be honest, that's like the only commandment that I know, so everybody else past her is going to have, like, different abilities, and I'm going to make them up. And I'm going to say Naruto's only able to make 3 because not a lot of the demon magic came through the barrier with him. It was just enough to make 3 commandments. And those 3 are going to be gods. Anyway, besides Naruto, those 3 are going to be fucking gods. So yeah. Naruto asked Tamari, like, yo, do you want to become one? And she was like, no, because that looks weird. And he was like, oh, okay. And he immediately just starts planning on how to turn her into one. And what he does is he goes up to Gaara and he's like, yo, Gaara, I ask you a favor. And no matter what you say, it's going to happen whether you want it to or not. And He was like, okay, I'm listening. And he tells him, he's like, yo, so here's what's gonna happen. During the tuning exams, you're going to injure me, quote unquote, injure me by taking a sand spear and throwing it through me. And at this point in time, Tamari and Naruto are going out, just to clarify that. So this is how she's gonna get broken, so Naruto can pick back up the pieces. So yeah, pretty awesome if you ask me. And yeah, and he was like, well, how do you expect, like, how do you think that's gonna, like, quote unquote, in your words, make her a better fighter? And he was like, don't worry about that. Just know she's going to be God tier after the fact. And he was like, okay, sure, whatever. I don't care. So Gara agrees. My fault for flipping the phone. I just had to stretch. Gara agrees, and in the middle, they all like start saying bye. You know, Naruto gives his hugs and, you know, little kisses, and they leave. And Gara's obviously a little, like, he doesn't want Tamari to know anything, so he's kind of distant to Tamari. And Naruto was basically like, just act like a jerk to Tamari and, like, kind of berate me while I'm not here and stuff like that. So Gara's just following the plans. And basically, like, when you basically just gotta act like the next time you see me is on sight, like you killing me or some shit like that. Yeah, so a week passed, and they do get the Zabuza mission. They do. Hey, you will not believe the sword that I'm finna give Naruto. Well, now that I just said Zabuza and sword, I think most of y'all, if y'all watched Naruto, which y'all most likely did, because I wouldn't be watching this if y'all didn't, y'all know what sword I'm finna give him. So during Tazuna, like, everyone's there, like, they're not walking, but like they're going to the thing to get the mission, like to meet up with their assignment dude, Tazuna, whatever, fuck that nigga. So when they get there, they start talking. Like, Tazuna starts talking, like, he basically was talking about the edgelord, Sasuke, and Sasuke kind of brushes him off. And he turns toward Naruto. And the minute that he turned towards Naruto, I'm gonna say Sakura was at his throat with the kunai and was basically like, I fucking dare you, fam. Like, come on, talk, bitch. And Naruto was like, bro, like, Sakura, relax. And she was like, nah. Come on, say what you gotta say. It's gonna be your last words. Do it. Come on, you won't. You don't have the balls. I got more balls than you, and I'm a girl. Explain. And Tazuna was finna say something, and I'm gonna say she pressed the kunai against Tazuna's neck, and Naruto grabs her and was like, yo, I said no, and he's our mission, so I'm gonna need you to either act right or I'm gonna make you act right. And he basically started squeezing Sakura's hand, like arm, and I'm gonna say Kakashi and Sasuke was like, well, Kakashi already know what's going on, but he doesn't realize how in depth, like, the control over Naruto has over certain aspects of the people that gets the tag's life after they get it. So yeah. And she reluctantly agreed, like, she reluctantly stops, and she was like, bro, the next time you do some shit like that, I'm gonna cut his ass in half with the fucking kunai. The little ass kunai cut that nigga in half. And she talking under her breath. And Naruto's like, alright, we good, let's go. And Sasuke pulls Naruto to the side and was like, fam, first off, you call them tags. How do I get one? And Naruto was like, I kinda have to break you. And he was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like, fam, what do you mean you have to break me, fam? And he was like, the thing that you was doing to Sakura, I'm gonna have to do to you. But you never gonna know how I'm gonna do it. So you're not getting, like, I can't really do it to you because you already broke and I wasn't there to pick up the pieces. So, you know, you picked them up yourself. So I can't really do anything with you. But trust and believe. If I could, you would be a god. But, you know, I can't. So you're just you. You're a god. You're a god. But you're just you. And he was like, at least let me know, like, what breaking and picking up the pieces mean. And Naruto tells him, and now, Sasuke's in on it too. Sasuke is like, because if Naruto can get a squad of him, if Naruto and Sasuke can get a squad of just specifically him, and Lord Third knows too, so yeah, eventually the Third is going to house a meeting about Naruto's ability to take this this dark chakra out of, like, the world itself and put it inside people. Stuff like that. And I'm gonna say there's enough to make 4, but Naruto's absorbing, Naruto absorbed when he was born. He absorbed. There was enough to make 4, but Naruto absorbed most of it. So now it was only enough to make 3, which was Sakura. Is gonna be Tamari and somebody else. I'm not telling y'all who that third person gonna be. Anyway, so Naruto. If y'all know me, y'all know. But y'all probably don't, because it's like my 3rd series. Anyway, let me stop ranting, because I know some of y'all don't like that. Anyway, so now Sasuke's in on it too, and he basically, like, he starts talking to Sakura, and he was like, you're pretty cool now. And Sakura was like, well, thanks, I guess. And they immediately noticed the Demon Brothers. Just immediately. And I'm gonna say Sakura turns on her state. Like the state, like, amplifies her speed and strength. And she goes and she steps in the puddle. And when the Demon Brothers like act, I'm gonna say Naruto and Sasuke immediately just snuffed him out. Like, there was no need for Kakashi to do anything. They just immediately got snuffed out. Just immediately. Like, Tazano was like, bro, what are these kids? And he looks up at Kakashi, and Kakashi was like, this is Team 7. And Tazano was like, yeah, okay. And Kakashi basically looks at Sakura and was like, what the fuck did Naruto do to you? And Naruto's like, oh, it's simple. I made her way better than what she was. Like, there's no way she's gonna get any better than this. And they, like, a couple of hours pass, and Naruto and them feel like, I'm gonna say Kakashi still tells everyone to duck, because Naruto senses it, but he doesn't care, because he knows, like, he's a god. And yeah, he feels the sword coming. So, but instead of, like, Naruto dodging out the way or anything, Naruto turns around and grabs the executioner blade out the air. Like, he just, give me that. I want it now. Right there. It's in my hand now. And Zabuza was like, wait a minute. I don't fuck with that. Like, I'm gonna need you to give me that back. Right now. Like, give it to me. And Zabuza releases his bloodlust, and Naruto's like, oh, word? That's what we on? And Naruto just unleashes, like, the dark chakra that he has, like, stored up in him. I'm gonna call it dark chakra instead of dark. I'm gonna call it dark energy, not dark chakra, dark energy. Naruto releases, like, the dark chakra pressure, and it dwarfs Zabuza's bloodlust because it came strictly, like, the dark chakra or dark energy came from the Demon King itself, from the 7 Deadly Sins universe to theirs. So, like, it dwarfs his, what's the name? And Zabuza was like, hold on, wait a minute. Yeah, and Haku throws, like, the 3 kunai at him in his neck. And Naruto notices like, yeah, they're working together, but he doesn't care because he wants to actually talk to Zabuza because he knows that Zabuza's a rogue, and if there's a possibility that he can get Zabuza or Haku to break, he's going to get that chance. He wants to see if he can get that chance, but he never will. The Easter egg, he never will. So they keep walking, and Naruto basically informs them like, we're gonna run into them eventually again. And he looks towards Sakura, and he's like, Sakura, you should definitely guard Tazuna. And she was like, you want me to guard the person I tried to kill like 6 hours ago? Right. And Naruto was like, if you don't guard him, we will have issues. And she was like, fine, bro, fine. And she basically looks for Tazuna, and she was like, stay near me, or I'm gonna kill you. And Tazuna was like, well, he said guard me, not threaten me. And Naruto looks back at Tazuna, and he was like, hey, as long as you ain't dead, you can still make it to your location. We don't have to get you there in one piece. You just can't be dead. And Tazuna looks at Kakashi, and Kakashi just doesn't care. Like, Kakashi was like, this is a basic for me. This is normal. Like, after that A-class mission that they did with escorting, back to whatever, this is normal for them. Like, this is just normal. This is normal things. And, Tazuna and Haku appears, and they fight. And Sasuke still gets hurt. And Naruto reveres Sasuke as like a little brother. Like a brother of sorts. So, when he sees Sasuke get messed up, he goes into the full state of the first form. Which is not this form that he has right now. I guess it can be similar. No, he just has like the seal on his head. Like the seal. Like that right there. He just has like the seal on his head and then like that line going down his eye. And Haku comes out the mirror to try to finish off Sasuke. And Naruto kicks Haku out the mirror. And uses a kunai to cripple Haku. Stab kunai straight through his spine type shit. And Kakashi's like, Zabuza notices this and he's like, why? No, I just lied. Naruto like goes to Zabuza and cause Naruto still has like that little mark or whatever, but instead of targeting Haku, he targets Zabuza instead because Zabuza's stronger. I'm gonna say in that mode he's only able to target the people that are stronger. He's gonna gain control, but for right now, that mode specifically targets people that are stronger. So he lunges towards Zabuza and swipes, but Haku jumps in the way, and Haku gets, poor Haku, gets mortally dead. He's dead now. Haku's cooked, gone. He's dead. And Naruto kind of like regains control thanks to the help of the Nine Tails. And the Nine Tails is like, yeah, I just helped you out. You got some fucked up. Like there's something fucked up in you. You know that, right? And he was like, yeah, I know. It's called demon energy. It's a beautiful thing. And Naruto basically like starts telling Zabuza like, you treated Haku as a tool and now he's dead. And Tazuna, Zabuza, he get there. Like they're not arguing, but like it's basically the same thing that happened in canon. The only difference is when that one dude and all those little bandits or gang members or whatever they was, they like little quote unquote hood mentality that they had going on with all of them hundreds and got iced by one dude using just his mouth and a fucking blade. But yeah, anyway, so like Naruto, like I'm gonna say Zabuza, he doesn't die after like killing all of them. He dies like, I'm gonna say he kind of he asked Kakashi, could he send him where Haku is, so he can like apologize shit to Haku, going out like a saint. And Kakashi agrees, and he walks up behind Zabuza and pricks him in the back of the throat and kills him immediately. It's painless. R.I.P. that man Zabuza. So Naruto grabs the executioner's blade and was like, "This is nice. I'm gonna hold on to this." And he tosses it over the side of his hand, over his behind his head, and the dude's still talking. And Naruto looked toward him, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about y'all." And the whole sword kind of turns black, and Naruto damn near just disappears from field of vision. And he only disappears from field of vision from them just because they're just bandits. They never really learned chakra control or anything like that. They're just bandits. They learned basic, but they didn't learn everything. They're not yet up there. So yeah, Naruto washes them, and Tazuna gets there, and instead of naming it the Great Naruto Bridge, he names it the Dark Bridge or some shit like that. No, he names it the Great Zabuza Bridge. As payment to Zabuza. And Naruto was like, I'm gonna hold on to a sword for him. I'm gonna hold on to it for him. And Kakashi was like, yeah. And Sakura's like, that's no fair. I didn't get to fight anybody. And Naruto was like, bro, relax. The Chunin exams is what? I would say 3 days away from now. You can fight. You can fight to your heart's content. And she's like, yes. And Naruto's like, so why ain't you blood crazed maniacs? Sit the fuck down somewhere. And she moves around. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna end this part off here. But trust and believe, I will make another part to this probably tomorrow, because I'm low-key starting to fuck with this. Alright though. Peace out. Remember, add me on Discord so y'all can drop me some what if suggestions. I'm always open. Y'all could criticize me, give me pointers, let me know what I'm doing wrong, shit like that. I fucks with that. But yeah. Let me know, bro. Let me know.